Hi, paper crafting friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to do a walkthrough of everything that I made in the month of October. I thought maybe there would be some interest in seeing what I document in 1 month. I was even curious to see how many pages, how many projects. There were 23, which is a lot, but I think it's because the vast majority were done in this Dash notebook. 15 out of the 23 were done in here, and I was documenting Halloween stories. I was really motivated to do that. So let's walk through some new projects and old projects. I work in a 7x10 dash in 6x8 notebooks, mostly that I create myself with a cinch, traveler's notebooks, and this is a hemlock and oak that I've been working in since 2022. All right, let's start there because this one's a little bit new, on the newer side. So back in 2022, I'll give you a quick peek. I had started this in January of 2022. I bought this weekly Undated Hemlock and Oak. And I love this for just documenting daily life. And mostly I think I did it so I can get a lot of good use out of my stamps. And this was a lot of fun. I did this for a good part of 2022. I switched it up this year. In the summer, I bought another Hemlock and Oak Undated again because I don't like to be boxed in by years or dates or anything like that, because I know I start and stop projects all the time because life, right? Life gets in the way. And sometimes I just lose interest in a creative project and I have no problem setting it aside until I'm ready to go back to it. So in the summer, I think in July or August, I bought this Undated Daily. A little bit different, doesn't have as many columns, and I loved it. I started it here way back in August. The day we came back from our vacation in Mexico, it was like this crazy story, and I really wanted to get it down about what we were doing and what happened and how United Airlines dumped us 3.5 hours from home, um, and kind of like how we handled it and stuff. This is so influenced by an Instagrammer by the name of Jen Boom. I'm going to link her down below. She's one of my favorite daily journaler folks. And yeah, she works in a Hobonichi. This style is very popular in a Hobonichi right now. I don't like the paper in a Hobonichi. Actually do like the crinkling of it, but not the stamping or the writing of it. I'm too messy for that. So I like the paper in this Hemlock and Oak because it's really great for stamping and writing. Okay, so I started here. Life got busy. We traveled a ton in September. My son went off to college. My niece went to college. It was just a crazy, crazy time. So I put this aside. This is why I buy undated things and I don't commit to dated projects. I picked it up again in October and I was like, oh, really want to do that Hemlock and Oak thing again. And I didn't want to do just day by day. I think my life is too same-y, I guess. I would be documenting the same thing all the time, I think. And then I would lose interest in the project. There's nothing wrong with just, documenting day-to-day life. It's just I know that I personally would lose interest in something like that. So I started with a top 10 on October 3rd. I started this of Halloween and things that I was looking forward to because it doesn't have to be used for daily journaling. So I'm definitely going to sprinkle in this type of project. I don't know where I'm going with this. Honestly, I'm just having fun with it. So this was done with a lot of Kerri Bradford stamps and then just some stickers that I had in my stash. And these stickers, the Halloween stickers, are from the Washi tape shop. So let's see, what else did I do? In October, I did 3 of them. So I did my top 10, and then I did these 2. So I did October 24th. This was fun. I did a girls' day out to a town that decorates amazingly for Halloween. And so I wanted to kind of document that. I have 2 pictures in the middle and more stickers. These are washi type stickers, and they're from the Washi tape shop. All of the stamps are Kerri Bradford, I think. I'm not sure about these 2, but this cluster here is definitely Kerri Bradford, and as is this one. So I just repeated the exact same design. And then this is another day. This is just like a simple Sunday in October. just everyday life, a French onion soup that I was loving with this beautiful view, and some future plans that my husband and I have, what weekends are like right now, and how I'm feeling. So, this is what I did in October. I have been working on it all of November. It is not going to be just this, like daily life, because, like I said, I know that I won't keep up with this. I don't know. There would be so many trips to like Target and the library and the post office, round and round. So I'm definitely going to mix in a bunch of things like this. I'm going to get a little bit creative, a little bit different, to keep myself interested in keeping going with the project. All right, so that is my hemlock and oak. Next, let's do Halloween really quickly. So the 6x8, I made this with packaging from the Ali Edwards kit this year. There's a video on a process video on how I made this, and I'll link that down below. So I got one full page. This is what you call a completed project. I had a lot of fun making this. Again, I think I walked through this in another video, so I won't get into it too much, but unfinished projects are okay. That's fine. Next year, I'll pull apart these rings and continue the book and finish it up. I got so into my daily, or not so daily, occasionally, in my notebook, in my dash notebook, that I kind of set this one aside because I just wasn't feeling it creatively. All right, I've done a walkthrough video of these first pages, so I will quickly run through them so you don't get bored and say, I already saw those. Okay, so I think here is where I left off. All right, so my dash notebook. So this is a process that I'm still enjoying very much. I do these 2 or 3 at one time. And yeah, so I like that the framework is already there for me. This one is really light and simple and clean. I really wanted to use up some of my Paige Evans Halloween die cuts. I love that she can mix skulls and flowers. I think that's really cool. And I like just the pale colors of it. So I started with this right here in the center. I started with the 2 flowers and the title die cut, and then I built up from there. And to balance it out, something large, this really big die cut here, something black for contrast, so a little bit of a fence that I've had for many years, and a little ticket sticking out of one of my photos. Then I added this with the mini cinch. The mini cinch holes line up, and I added this spooky. This is from Studio Calico from last year, and it's sort of like a bookmark. And I added it honestly for a pop of color, and I like bold graphics. So I like the bold graphic of the spooky to add a little bit of color to this one. And then on this side, black, because this page was mainly black. Here is decorations from last year. This is from 2023. This porch was amazing. I love this porch with their little alleyway with the dogs, um, the little skeleton dogs. I thought that was super cute. Right down to the wreath in front of the house. There were so many people taking pictures of this, and I had to be one too. So this one started with the photo. I definitely wanted to capture the porch, and I cut it a little bit short. The box comes up to here, but I don't stay within the boxes. Sometimes I do, a lot of times I don't. So I cut it a little bit short, but I used it anyway. And I just stuck this big bat. This was from Ali Edwards, I believe, from this year. And I just stuck that in there. It looks like it's hugging the picture almost. And I really like the way that turned out. For my little details, I did this cauldron. This is old too. This is probably from last year. And cauldron in the center, a little bit of patterned paper right underneath with some ghost, 2 little puffy stickers, and some older washi tape. This one, I love this costume. My son's Star-Lord costume. He was so into this year. He went to Comic-Con with my nephew, my husband, and I really wanted to document this. I know he's going to want to remember this. He also has an original Walkman on, and that's a big part of the story. My dad is a collector of all things electronics. That is a Walkman from back in the day, an original perfect condition. Um, we had mentioned that we were looking for a Walkman on eBay, and my dad's like, "Wait, I have one in the basement," and there it was. So I have since put it away for Nico and for future generations because it's really special, and I kind of like was like, "Be very careful with that Walkman." But yeah, I definitely wanted to document this story in this spot in the notebook. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Oh, that's funny. So this layout looks like this when it's not filled. So you notice that instead of doing this one big picture, I went my own way and did 4 smaller pictures, and I do these in PicMonkey. So in PicMonkey, you can do a 4 by 6 and do 6 photos. So I did these 4, and I printed out 2 other ones that'll be for a different project, but it was really easy to get that down in that square. And I like the mix of a big picture and little picture. For the decorations, this is a decorations, embellishments. I call them decorations. This is a rub-on from this year. I forget from who. Echo Park, maybe. And then some Ali Edwards and an old felt bat from the Target dollar spot. I kind of use like a very eclectic mix of stuff. It's my favorite way to create. A little piece vellum because I wanted to move on to the next story, which is my house at night. This was Halloween night, and I just wanted to give it a little bit of an overlay. So we're moving on to the next story, which is Halloween, and a picture of my house, the decorations, my husband in this crazy, creepy clown costume that he wears sometimes. I think he has since retired it, but I think the kids are going to remember this from growing up because he wore it for so many years. And he happened to run into a little kid wearing the exact same costume on the street, which was so weird. So I had to take a picture of that, and I wanted to remember that because that was funny. And then just the 5 of us in front of the house that same year. This is the same year, 2019. It looks like, yep, 2019. So that is the 5 of us. And then I skipped over to 2024. And here are more pictures of decorations and houses. And Halloween has kind of morphed into that, more about um, almost tourism, Halloween tourism. Next year, I want to go to Salem. That's the plan. So, yeah, so this is a house that I love, my favorite Halloween house of 2024 with the dog and his cone. I love that. And then I took some detail shots of other things they had up. This was like a pet veterinary theme. And then there's me in front of the house. For decorations, I went with the colors. So the house is like an olive green with a lot of orange and muted tones. And so I just found things from my stash, and they're all from different places. So this here is from Ali Edwards. This again, I want to say is Simple Stories, Photo Play maybe. Um, the floral ghost with these like muted colors, this went perfectly. And then this is a very old Jolie's boutique. So 3 different manufacturers. What I'm looking for always is mood, color, and that type of thing, not necessarily something from one collection. All right, and that is it. That was 17 pages, I think I did, and then some inserts. So this was, you could tell I was really into this project this month. Now these projects are from my design team work over at Hip Kit Club. This was made with the Good Things Ahead kit, which was released in September. So I made the actual traveler's notebook and decorated it with things that came in the kit that month. I do have a traveler's notebook class if you want to see how these come together and how I put them together and how I print some things out and put the pages together. I will link up my Etsy shop. So this is a pattern paper from that collection. Now, some of the collection has a little bit of theme, and they have varied themes, and I like that because it's my jumping or my starting off point into telling different stories. So there were a few items in this kit that were back to school with this apple theme, and I was thinking about it, and this is my first year that I do not have a kid going into a K through 12 school setting, and how different that is and how out of that world I am now. I started it out with the apple paper, which happened to be the other side of this pattern, which I absolutely love. I added in this vellum insert and the pocket, the denim pocket. I love the texture on these denim pockets. It's a flat die cut, but it's so well done that it looks like it's really denim. And then I added the apple puffy, and then, you know, as a nod to my joke of not being part of the back to school world, the relaxation mode. And then that's what the story is about. I pulled a picture of my son way back, starting his first day of kindergarten, and it's 2011 to 2024. And my history as a mom with that back to school thing, that rushing of, you know, lunch boxes and backpacks and sneakers and all that good stuff. And I don't do that anymore. So my list of things to do is kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. My list of things to do is nothing, not a single thing, nil, nope. Nena, acuéstate, which in Spanish, in English means girl, lay down, and nada. And that's what my story is about, is that I saw a school bus and finally realized, oh wow, school started. My son had been in college for weeks at that point, so I had completely forgot about it. And it kind of felt good not to be part of that rush. It's this bittersweet thing, and that's what I wrote about. Another nod to theme in this month's kit was a very red, white, and blue type of theme with a lot of tickets and fair and carnival. And when I put it together and I picked out my favorite things from the kit, I remembered a story that I hadn't told about us at a boardwalk. This is the boardwalk that I grew up going to in South Jersey. My son had never been until the pandemic hit. We needed to stay closer to home. And that was the first time he actually visited that very nostalgic place for me. And so that's kind of what the story is about. The picture was just very blue for whatever reason when I took it. And so it reminded me of the blue colors that were in the kit. And so that's why I told that story with these things. To make the banner, I used mostly chipboard. There were a lot of banner chipboards in this kit, and that's where these 4 pieces came from. I added 2 flat tickets, so we have dimensional items on the top chipboard and then flat items on the bottom, and a nice big square in the center. And that variation in shape, from half circles to triangles to squares, that's what gives banners like a really nice, eclectic, really interesting design appeal, at least to me. And then I tied them together with these little flat gold puffy circles, and that was my repetition. All right, let's see what's next. These are not part of the designs, they're just like my page holders. So this is another colorway within the same kit, which I love. So you're going to see a lot. You see how different they are. Same kit, very different. So you have fair, you have school, you have these apples, you have the plaid for fall, and then again, very nice fall colors. So this one started with this flower. I love this flower die cut. I love the leaves. I love the colors. I love how it plays off of this patterned paper, the orange and the blue. Definitely reminded me of the month of October. For us, one of the biggest things in October, other than Halloween, was that my son came home from college for the first time since August, and it was so good to have him here. So I definitely had to document that. And I did that with a very decorated page on the left. So I wanted this denim pocket. I wanted to use another denim pocket. It holds a little bit of my decoration, offset by this little, it's so exciting to have him here, chipboard. And then on the right is a collage. And this is one of my go-to designs, definitely. I do this over and over. I do a lot of the same things over and over, but this one is one that I love. This is putting a puzzle together for me, and I really enjoy that. And I get to use a lot of different things. So we have die cuts, the puffy sticker from the kit. We have steel die for the W for weekend. this, and this are stamps from that kit, and I got to use those. And I love putting those things together. And I mixed those up with some of my own things. I had this odd spot here next to the N. The N is for Nico, my son's name. And I wanted to add the date. None of my date stamps worked in this like really narrow, long space. So I printed this out on clear label paper and stuck it in right there to take up that spot instead of going through all of my stamps. I have a lot of stamps. And here I was looking for like an all roads lead to home type of stamp, couldn't find it. So again, I did this one on clear label paper, and it says all roads lead to mi casa, which is my home. And that was perfect for telling my story. It's that little bit of personalization and detail that I like to add. And that's it. Those are all my projects for October. I hope to do this every month just so you can see what I created in a month. I love to see what I created in a month because, right, I just make every day. Not every day, maybe every other day. And it was 23 projects in total, which is a lot. So I'm curious to see month over month how I do. And so thank you. Thank you for watching. Always leave me a comment and questions and all that good stuff. Let me know if you're even interested in this series. Yeah, thanks so much. And I will see you next time.